If you like numbers, charts, games of chance, and this sport, you'll love Premier Manager 2. With secretaries, fixtures, statistics, match reports, and early 90s in-game animations. Alright, let's play. Hi everyone, Atomic Wins here playing Premier Manager 2, a game released in 1993 by Gremlin Games. As a young soccer nerd, I absolutely love this game, even though I only had the shareware version and was limited to playing around half a season. The first thing you do is put in your name. A.Wins for Atomic Wins of course. Then you pick your team. If you haven't heard of Dover Athletic in the Premier League, that's because they aren't. Even though the game is called Premier Manager, we cannot manage a Premier League team at the start. Your team starts in the Football Conference, and through promotion or by switching teams, you can make your way up to the Premier League. You'll find with this game there are a few hints on what to do when there are decisions to be made, so I decided to look for who won the real life 93-94 Football Conference season. It's a team named Kidderminster Harriers, or just Kidderminster in the game. Okay, now that's done, it's the start of the season and we have to organise friendlies. There are 4 slots of friendlies which correspond to Monday and Wednesday week 1 and 2. Saturday week 1 is the Charity Shield, fought between the previous year's FA Cup winner and the league champion. The first league match of the season is Saturday week 2. The good news is that you can select any team you like to play against from any league, and there are even a few select European teams. You can scroll to other pages by continuously clicking on the week you're interested in scheduling. If the team you play is better than you, you'll have to play away, otherwise you'll get to play at your home ground. Alright, we've picked Arsenal as our first matchup on the first week. For the second game, let's pick a weaker team, a non-league team, say Fisher Athletic. We'll keep the second week free so we don't overload our players before the start of the season. The power button in the bottom right will let us lock it in and get on with the game. Okay, this is the main screen of the game where you can coordinate your actions. Each item corresponds with a separate screen. We'll go through each screen in detail shortly, but first from the top left we have the transfer market, our stadium, sponsorship boards at our stadium, team selection and tactics, the disc is for saving, loading and when you want to exit the game, our managerial history, the phone lets us contact the secretary, arrange training, negotiate contracts, organise physio treatments and more. Next you can look at the current league standings. The trophy shows the current fixtures for each cup. The question mark is for game settings. The fax machine is read-only information, match status, club news, etc. E is for economy I guess, this shows how your finances are faring. The whistle lets you go to the next match or go to the next date if there is no game. Let's first have a look at the transfer market. Here you can see which players are available to bid on. From left to right, WK is how many weeks the player has been on the market. SK is the main skill of the player. This also corresponds to the colour of the row of the player. So green is for goalkeepers who have a handling skill called HN. Yellow is for defenders with a TK for tackling. Brown is for midfielders with PS for passing. And the orange are for your forwards who have SH for shooting. You can also see which club and which division the player is from. Note that this list is only for English League players and the name of the leagues have changed. For example, the first division in this game is now known as the Championship in real life. Once you select a player, you can have a look at their statistics. Unfortunately, as we do not yet have a scout, we do not know what this player is like and would be using blind luck if we bid on them. Clicking on the list icon will let us scroll to different pages. At this stage of the game, we'll only be able to afford players down towards the bottom of the list. Next, let's have a look at our stadium. Here we get a view of the north stand of our stadium, which is covered with terraces. Interesting to note that a few years after this game came out, terraces were banned. We can click through to the other stands and see that our west stand has plastic seats, only 400 of them. We have the option to upgrade these seats to deluxe, which is the best kind of seat in the game. The other stands, which only have terraces, can be upgraded to wooden benches, which later can be upgraded to plastic seats. We can also modify other aspects of our stadium, including the coverings of the stands, the supporters club, facilities, underground soil heating to prevent games being postponed due to snow, improve floodlights, scoreboard, car park and safety facilities. Whenever there are new sponsorship opportunities available, you'll see the word sponsors going above this icon. Going into this screen is where we can set up sponsors boards for our stadiums. There are 16 boards on the longest north and south sides of the ground, and 8 boards on the shorter east and west sides of the pitch. Each sponsor offers us either a per week or flat rate for a number of weeks to occupy a number of boards. We'll come back to this when we get to setting up the game for the first week. Now we can have a look at our team. The game has a consistent colour scheme as per the transfer market. Here we have number values which indicate how good our players are in different areas. In addition to handling, tackling, passing and shooting mentioned in the transfer market screen, there are a few extra columns. CR is for control and FT is for current fitness. This will go down after your players are injured and during a match if your players play too much. On the right hand side is more information about a player, including aggression, morale, which foot is preferred, and the current season statistics. DPTS stands for disciplinary points related to how many yellow and red cards your player gets. We can also set up the tactics for our team, including how hard to tackle, high, low or normal passing, marking strategy, shooting distance and playstyle. You can also set the formation of the team. There are quite a few to choose from. Once you have a game played, you can see statistics from the previous game. You can get a snapshot of the next match, including the referee and how strict they are, the skill of their opposition and their tactics. The medical screen lets you know if your players are injured and how long it will take for them to get better. Fixes show you the games upcoming. You can click on this again to see the next pages. And the pencil lets you change the names of players if you so want. Your managerial history will show you details of your previous season and jobs. For now it's very boring because we just started. Next, for the phone, there are numerous pages. The first has contacts for secretary, job centre, insurance and coaches and physios, once they've been hired at the job centre. Flipping the pages, you can contact your teammates, either to give them a bonus to boost their morale, or to offer them a new contract, if there's a 0 next to their name. For example, McGrath is currently out of contract. We might want to offer him a new contract, otherwise he will leave for free. This is the secretary screen, where you can actually get a gauge of how you're doing, and to resign if you so wish. Let's type in N because we don't actually want to resign yet. In the job centre, you can click to hire. We don't need to use teammates yet, particularly at such a poor rating. The physio rating will determine how many they can treat. The scout rating relates to the quality of the players they can find for you. Insurance is a way to recoup costs associated with injured players, but it costs money per week. Next, let's have a quick look at the league standings. Most of the info isn't present yet because we haven't played any games. Note that you can select another team and have a look at their fixtures, their stadium, and their squad, etc. To go to other divisions, you can press the F keys, F1, F2, F3. F1 will go to the Premier League. Let's go have a look at Man United. Some of these names should be familiar to those who like soccer. Schmeichel, Keane, Giggs, Cantona, all are Man United legends playing in their heyday in 1993. You can even see they are due to play Arsenal in the Community Shield. The cup screen lets you see the current fixture list for each cup. By selecting the same cup, you can scroll to other pages. You can see we're due to play Division 2, now League 1, Bradford City at our home on Saturday week 10. The cups are as follows: FA Cup, League Cup, Champions Cup, Cup Winner Cup, UEFA Cup, Charity Shield. The Champions Cup is now called the Champions League, and the Cup Winner Cup has been merged with the UEFA Cup to be just the UEFA Cup. Game options let us view match reports, have animations in the game, change the match speed, and more. The fax machine will have more important information as the season progresses. The news area is generally the most important. You'll know that when there is relevant information because the word fax will appear above the fax machine in the main page. The financial screen lets you see how the week or season finances are panning out. You can also see if you have loans and the status of the loans. The interest rate is currently an eye-watering 11.75%. You can also get an overview of your wage bill, and you can monitor ticket prices and your attendance. Here you can get an overview of your pitch and see how long any improvements have to complete. Once you have pitch advertisers, you can see them in the screen. Now that we've had a look around, let's get the game set up for the season. First, we'll need to set up the sponsors. This is a little mini game in and of itself. You'll need to balance the amount of weeks the boards will stay up with how many boards it takes up. If you have unfilled spots, this might be money down the drain, or if a better deal comes along, you might not have enough space to fill it. To make life simple, I'm only going to pick sponsors who offer more than 100 per week. For example, 2200 for 38 weeks is less than 58 per week, which isn't a good deal. Now let's hire some staff. We'll need a scout, and let's get a couple of coaches. The head coach on offer isn't good, so we won't bother just yet. Later on in the season, this list will refresh with new candidates. Now we have coaches, we can then click on a coach and set up the training rosters. Let's focus on training the skills the players are best at. Now we have a scout, we can go back to the transfer market to find someone. This is what it looks like when you have a look at a player when you have a scout. Note that the words like superb or fair with 5 stars correspond to the number rating of the player. The scale starts at fair, then good, very good, and then uses words like superb, outstanding, world class, etc. It's worth finding players who are out of contract because their club fee will be 0. Be warned that you'll have to offer them more fee and higher wages to be competitive. We'll need to look in the conference for talent. Here is someone worthwhile. Their shooting is good with 2 stars and they're out of contract. Let's bid. I'm thinking 10,000 to the player and a wage of $155 per week for a 2-year contract. Seems fair to me. Looks like someone else won. Scarborough, who are in the 3rd division, offered far more, 18,000 to the player and a massive $385 wage and 3-year contract. We couldn't have competed against that without financial compromise, and besides, he's 31 years old. Now let's set up our team for the match. Let's get our best tacklers into defence, best passers into midfield and best shooters into attack. To swap players, left click to select and right click to swap. Make sure we have good subs as well. Back in the early 90s there were only 3 subs allowed and only 2 allowed during the match. This means that even though there are 4 broad categories of players, goalies, defenders, midfielders and forwards, you can only have 3 subs. Now that's done, let's have a look at our stadium. I'm thinking for now, $8,000 for a small scoreboard seems like a good investment. Now let's have a chat with one of our out of contract players. We only have one, McGrath. Let's offer him a new contract. I'm thinking a wage of $115, a slight improvement. Signing fee of $3,000? I have no idea if this is reasonable, and maybe a 2-year contract. Okay, looks like all 3 of these were accepted by the player, great. For the first game of the season, I'd like to show you the main animations and start slower than the fastest speed. Let's also show match reports. Generally these would be off to speed up the game. Time to start a game. Here we go. Before we start, we get to see the match report for the friendlies. The only non-self-explanatory piece of information is the number in the top left. This corresponds to the attendance at the ground. Once we're done, we can exit and go to our game. So this is the main game screen, and the team on the left is Arsenal, and their moves are on the left. They want to score goals to the right of the screen. Our team is on the right, and we score goals to the left. This does not change even after halftime. You can see that the commentary is very repetitive and doesn't provide much insight. Let's speed it up. Okay, the first shot of the match was 3 minutes and 47 seconds by Jensen of Arsenal. Interesting little tidbit, John Jensen only ever scored 1 goal for Arsenal in just over 100 games. Fortunately for us, it was saved. The next shot was taken by Steve Bald, and it's a goal. Well, we didn't really expect to do well in this game given the quality of the opponent. Our turn to have a shot. A long range effort by Davis misses. Let's speed it up to max. Okay, everything is going very quickly now. Now it's half time and we can change the team or tactics if we want. We can also get to the screen during the game by pressing S for substitute. We'll also see this screen if we have an injured player who needs to be substituted. The fitness of our players is holding up, so I don't think we need to make any changes at this stage. Straight after the reset we score and it's 1-1 at Highbury. Can you believe it? That's it, that's full time and we held on for a respectable 1-1 draw away to Premier League quality opposition. Of course it was only a friendly, but we'll take what we can get. This here is the results monitor, which shows us the results from around the other matches played today. You can see there are 34,000 people who left disappointed. Scrolling down, let's see if there's anything interesting. Barcelona was held to a 2-2 draw at home to Brighton. That's not something you see every day. Anyways, that will do us for today. Hope you've enjoyed a first look and playthrough of Premier Manager 2. I've recorded a full season playthrough. If you'd like to see more, give us a comment, give this video a like, subscribe, etc, and I'll see you all next time.